Okay, so what I'm gonna do for you guys today is I'm gonna give you in one video 3 skills which are gonna really help improve your RUAE overall skills, and it's really gonna help you to massively increase your chances of passing the RUAE section or the RUAE exam. So 3 things. These are the 3 key skills when it comes to RUAE. These are the sort of most important skills when it comes to RUE in terms of the marks. Okay, before I do that, I just want to say that uh, I have spaces available for my online English classes. These are exam preparation classes. You can apply just via the link in the description. I only have limited spaces, so if you want me to teach you, go ahead and apply as soon as you can. Okay, so in terms of the skills, what I want to show you very quickly. So first of all, just take out your jotter and make your heading RUAE, and then make your heading after that in your own words, word choice, and comparison question. So in your own words, word choice, and comparison question. Now, these are the 3 skills which are basically the most important in RUAE in terms of the marks. Okay, now what I'm going to show you, all right, I'm going to prove that to you just by showing you a couple different RUE papers. Now this is true for both National 5 and for higher. All right, and this is true for National 5 and higher. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a couple different higher papers, but again, this is also true for National 5. And okay, here we go. Where are the questions? Okay, sweet. So we don't have the text, but we've got the questions, and then we've got the questions here also. Yeah, do we have the questions? Yeah, okay, cool. So here are the 2015, 2017, and 2018 exam papers. So for those of you who are new to National 5 or higher, you have what's called a past paper, which is old exam papers, okay? So, name myself bigger. See the dawn. All right. So what I want you to look at how many questions, okay, fit into, in your own words, word choice, or the comparison. Okay, now we know that the comparison is always at the end. It gives you 5 marks, okay? So you can see 5 marks, at the end again, 5 marks, and at the end again, 5 marks. Okay, so 5 out of the 30. One thing you should note, the RUAE paper is 30 marks in total. 5 out of the 30 are this comparison. Okay, now besides the comparison question, what you have is the other 2, which is in your own words and word choice. Now let's go ahead and just very quickly see how many marks we have for each one. Okay, so there's in your own words, that's 2. And there's 4, that's in your own words again, 2, 4, and okay, so there's 4 for that. Okay, now look at how many are word choice. As I said, any question which says analyze language means you can analyze word choice. Any question which says analyze language means you can analyze word choice. If you didn't know that before, you should write that down. If it says you can analyze language, it means you can use word choice because that is the easiest. Okay, so we have language here, 4 marks. Excuse me, we've got 4. We've got 4 again, that's 8. Okay, 9, 10, 11. And another 4, that's 15. So 15 out of the 30, half are word choice questions. And then I think I said 4 are in your own words. So 19 out of the 30 are word choice and in your own words. And then you go ahead and you add on the 5, that's 24. So 24 marks out of the 30 in this paper are those 3, okay? And just very quickly, I'll show you here also. Okay, so in your own words, 2, 5, 5, 7, 9. Okay, 9. So you see again, 1/3 in this paper is in your own words. Language, word choice, you got 4. 2, that's 6. Plus 4, that's 10. 10, okay, 10. So again, 10, almost 10 in your own words, almost 10 word choice, yeah, 20 plus the 5. You can see 5 that are comparison. So you can see again, these 3, okay, are the most important skills that you can learn when it comes to RUAE. These are the most critical. So the most of your time should be spent drilling these skills. Okay, most of your time should be spent drilling these skills, and they will also help you in terms of your essay and also in terms of your set text, because your set text and your essay, both of them make use of these skills in different ways. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, excuse me, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you just a quick sort of overview of these three skills. So please do take notes and yeah, take notes, yeah. So this is gonna be like I'm giving you like a cheat code here. I'm giving you it for free, you know what I'm saying? So don't judge my pink cup, you know what I'm saying, man? Listen, men can wear pink and all that too. Okay, so open up your jar and now make your heading in your own words. All right, in your own words. Okay, now if you've watched the RUE video I've done, this is like sort of the updated version. All right, this is gonna be like the updated version of the RUE video that I made. Okay, so first of all, what I want you to do is go ahead and write down this. Okay, this is the definition. This is what in your own words an in your own words question actually is. So the point of an in your own words question is to explain the meaning of a sentence using different words. So here is a sentence. Tell me what it means using different words. So look at this sentence. Tell me what it means using different words. Okay, write this down, yeah? So pause the video, write that down. So again, the definition is tell the marker the meaning of the sentence using different words from the original. Okay? Okay, next, purpose. So this is the point of the question. What is the point of the question? What are they checking for? They are checking for these two things. So again, write these down, yeah? This should be your next heading, purpose. They're checking, can the student demonstrate? Can they show that they understand what the writer is saying? So if I say something to you, which is what you do when you read the text, the writer is basically talking to you. Can you show that you understand what they're saying? Did you understand the meaning of the sentence? Now, the way that you do that, yeah, and this is the second thing that they're checking for, is you repeat what they said, the meaning of what they said, but you use other words. So for example, if I said something to you, excuse me, if I said something to you, and then I want to check if you're actually listening to me, what I'll do is I'll ask you, okay, explain to me what I just said. I'll say to you, explain to me what I just told you. All right. So, and if you can do that, it means you were actually listening to me. If you can't do that, it means you probably weren't. So this is what they're checking for in an in your own words question. They're checking, can you read the sentence? Can you understand what it means? And then can you translate the meaning using new words? Yeah. Can you like change the words but keep the meaning? Okay, good. Write that down, yeah. Okay. Okay. Now the next thing, put myself over here. The next thing is gonna be how to do it. So make this your next subheading. Make this your next subheading. So this is how to do it in your own words. Okay, and go ahead, take your time, pause the video, and write these down. So write them down, yeah? Now, in school, you may have learned these differently. You might have learned, less steps, or you might have learned some different steps. These steps have been created based on all of the teaching that I've done, and with a wide range of different students, including students that are have dyslexia, students that have that are not necessarily naturally good at English, and then students that are very naturally good at English, naturally talented at English, who find it easy. So what I've done is I basically created these steps based on the student who found doing this the most difficult. So take these steps, and if you have any sort of, natural talent in English, if you're good at it at all, then knowing these steps will make you even better. If you're not good at English at all, then knowing these steps will get you through it, yeah? So copy these steps out and yeah, take your time with it. Okay, now very quickly, what the steps are, you go to the lines in the question. Okay, what does that mean? It's like this. In every question, you have lines. Okay, this is from the article, so lines 45 to 53, like this. Down the side of the article, the passage. It's line numbers. So this is what it means, go to the lines, yeah? Okay, so that's the first thing you do, go to the lines. Then you find a quote related to the question. Then you write it down, break the quote into sections. And I'm going to show you all this in a minute, yeah? Okay, so just write this down and then move on. Okay. Okay, the next thing. Excuse me, the next thing. So here are some tips for you guys. So make this your next subheading, tips. And what these are basically is there's certain situations where you're not going to be sure exactly what to do, or you're going to need some extra help besides like the fundamental steps. You're going to need a little bit more help. So here are some tips for you in case you need them. So the first thing is make sure, and these are to make sure you actually get the mark, yeah? This is also what they're for. So first is make sure you go to the line number in the question. So if the question says go to line 10, but you go to line 9, if it says go to line 10 to 15, but you go to line 9 or you go to line 16, you won't get the mark, yeah? So you need to go to where they ask you to go. Okay, that's number one. Number two is you want to change as many, and also write these down, yeah? Write these down. Excuse me, write these down. So you want to change as many words as you can. This is number two. The fundamental mistake, okay, the key mistake you can make with this question is using too many words from the original, okay? And it makes sense. The question is called in your own words. So obviously you need to put it in your own words, yeah, that's the point. So if you use words from the original, if you use too many words from the original, you won't get the mark. So the rule of thumb is change as many words as you can. Change every word if you can. But if you can't change a word, then there's something else you can do, which I'll get to in a second. But before that, what I want to say is you want to make sure you answer the question. Make sure you answer the question. Now, to do that, what you can do is you can take a keyword from the question itself and you can use it in your answer. So again, just write these down and I'm going to show you exactly what they mean with some example answers. Okay, now the final thing is kind of like what I was talking about, which is change as many words as you can. That's your rule of thumb. Okay, change as many words as you can. Change every word if you can. But if a word is extremely unique, like school, politics, science, news, hospital, that kind of thing, just use the word, yeah? Use the word. Also, obviously, if it's like someone's proper name and you need to mention it specifically, if you can't just say he said or she said or a friend said, then also obviously just use the name, yeah? So basically, rule of thumb, change every word if you can. Change as many words as you can. But if a word is extremely unique and it's taking you 5 minutes to try and come up with a replacement, just use the original, okay? Just use the original. Okay, so now we go on to some example answers, okay? We go to some example answers. So write this down, make your heading example answer, okay? And then go ahead and write down the question, which I have highlighted for you, okay? And then go ahead and write down the quote. So this is the step that comes after the point of going to the lines. You write down the quote, okay? So now what I'll do is I'll take you through the actual steps. So now imagine you've got the question, okay? So you're sitting in your exam. The question says, what does the writer say? It says, go to lines 5 to 6, whatever. I've not got line numbers here, but it's okay. Go to lines, actually, what I'll do is I'll put it like this for you, so it's even more realistic. Okay, so just add that to the question. Okay. And I'll actually even write lines. Okay, so now you're sitting at your exam. Okay, you open it up. It says you've read the article. It says the question says go to lines 1 to 6, and it says what does the writer say about how animals are treated in factory farms? I'm just gonna add to the question. Use your own words in your answer. So add this to your question as well. Yeah, your own words in your answer. Okay. So now what you do is you go ahead to lines 1 to 6, and now you've picked out a quote. Okay, now you write the quote down, like what we've done. Now what you're going to do, okay, is you are going to split the quote up, okay? You're going to break the quote up into parts. Now you can do this by just drawing a line. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to space it out, okay? If you're on a computer, you can space it out. If you're not on a computer, you can obviously just put lines in between, okay? So you want to space it up into the most important information. So like the key parts of the sentence, you want to break the sentence up into its key parts. Okay, why do we do this? We do this because, look, I want to show you a comparison. Okay. All right, now imagine if I asked you to break this sentence down for me into your own words. Imagine if I, let me actually put it this way. Okay, imagine if I said to you, okay, put this sentence into your own words, like if I asked you the question. Okay, now I took away the highlight like this. All right, now imagine you're sitting there in the exam room. All right, maybe you could underline it or something. But even if I leave the highlight for you, okay, just for the sake of argument. Okay, now look at this, and then think about how you would put it into your own words. Okay, so now you're in the process of doing it. This is what happens to like many students. Many students that I've had, this is what happens. This is the process. They look at it, they look away, try and write it down. They look at it, look away. And what happens is as they're looking, they get lost. Something else catches their eye. They might look at another word. And so they get lost. And part of the process of them trying to translate becomes less efficient because part of the process gets taken up by trying to relocate their place as they're looking at the sentence. Okay, now compare doing this, the difficulty of that, to translating this. Way easier, yeah, way easier. So that's why we write down the sentence and we break it up. Okay, and we break it up for a specific reason, which I'm going to show you in a second. But the reason that we write the quote down is because it basically makes you more efficient. It makes you better. It makes it easier to do because you don't get lost looking at the other parts of the paragraph. Okay, so write the quote down and then break it up. Okay, now once you've broken it up, start your answer by quoting the question. Remember that was on my one of my tips. So we're going to quote part of the question, which is this: what does the writer say about how animals are treated? So we're going to say the writer says, okay, the writer says animals in factory farms. Okay, now we have quoted the question. Now we have quoted the question. And we can even add one part. We can just say animals in factory farms are treated, if we want to be really specific to the question, poorly. Okay? And then we can have our answer, which I'll get to in a second. Okay. So we've got this part here because, okay, why do we do this? Why do we do this? You might be thinking, why do we do this? We do this because many times you might not have gotten a mark and your teacher might say something to you like, didn't answer the question or missed the question, something like that. And you might be thinking, what does that mean? What it means is you answered, but you weren't 100% specific to the question. And so they didn't give you the mark, yeah? Doing this, okay, quoting the question, part of the question, means you are always going to be specific. It means you're always going to be focused on the question. All right, that's the point. That's why we do it. So once we've done this, now all we need to do, okay, why do we split up our answer? We split up our answer because it makes it easier to do the translation. Okay, so we now have different chunks, okay? We have different chunks that we can translate, all right? So we're going to start one little chunk at a time. So first of all, in there, which is the animals, it's talking about the animals. So write this with me. So in there, this is the animals, okay? This is the animals. Short lives, which just means die early, okay? So the animals die early in their short lives means the animals die early, okay? If they have a short life, it means that they die quickly. All right. Now, they never see, okay? They never see grass, yeah? So again, this is kind of short, so you could probably put this into one, but the idea is they never see grass. If I wanted to make this even more sort of to this, if I wanted to change it slightly, I could just say, also animals do not experience, if I want to say they never see, do not experience. Okay, so that would be they never see. Okay, And then for grass, I could just say nature. Animals do not experience nature. They never see, so it'd be like this, yeah? So in there is the animals, short lives, die early. They never see, animals don't experience grass, which is nature. Okay, like that. All right, now we'll do another one. We'll do another one just to make it sort of more clear. Okay, so another question. So go ahead and write this question down. What does the writer say about professional football? And then here's the quote. It's already been broken up for you. The majority, like Mark, never made it through the first lap. All right, and then I'm going to split up the answer just so you can see how it works, yeah? So the majority is a high percentage, like Mark, which is the name of the writer's friend. So we say such as the writer's friend. Never made it, which is didn't succeed. Through the first lap, which is past the training stage. So you see, take one little chunk at a time. Okay, take the quote out, take one little chunk, break it up, take one little chunk at a time, translate it one little chunk at a time. Okay, now there's one final step, which I forgot to mention. Okay, so pause the video and then write this down. Okay, now there's one final step which you need to do, which is especially if you guys, when you're in your exam, the last step, okay, is you want to make sure you go ahead and strike out the original quote, okay? Put a line through the original quote. And what that does, this is after you've done your answer, put a line through the original quote, all right? And what that means is the marker can't like have any excuse to say that you have copied something or that you haven't used your own words or anything weird like that, yeah? So you want to make sure you cross out the original quote after you're finished. That way you give them no excuse about saying you didn't do something right or you didn't, I don't know. Anyway, you get the point, yeah? Okay, so that is in your own words. That is in your own words. It's that simple. Again, if you get lost on anything, just rewatch the video. It's real simple. Follow the steps, go to the lines, find a quote related to the question, write the quote down, break it up, take one little piece at a time, translate it, and then cross out your finished sentence. That is in your own words. Okay, good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go on to word choice. And some final questions actually you can ask yourself. Here, just copy these down also as well. These are sort of some questions you can use to check if you've got the right answer. So it's sort of the final thing I'll tell you. These are some little questions you can ask to check if you got the right answer, which is, does the answer capture the meaning of the original? Does the answer the question? Does the answer use words that are not in the original quote? And does the answer make sense? So if you can say yes to all these things, then you've got a correct answer. Okay, so that's how you can self-assess. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go on to word choice.